right, thanks everybody. We're here with head coach Fran Flory, Lane Van Buskirk, and Berkeley Oblak. We'll start with an opening statement.
Hey, credit Omaha. They played hard and they sustained a consistent level of competition. It wasn't the cleanest match by any means on either side. Tons of errors, but they were able to string a more consistent level of play than we were. We were pretty chaotic. We had a couple lineup changes that really affected us. And, when you're playing without your bro for the first time and trying to manage that at the last minute, pretty big challenge. But a lot of credit to these two. The middles did a good job of keeping us in it. And when we could get the ball to them, they were successful. I think our outsides just really struggled. And again, you have to credit Omaha's block and their ability to defend backcourt. I thought they made some incredible saves and were able to turn those into dig trans opportunities for kills. So credit them. Difficult night for us, but we'll get back in the gym and get better.
Coach, what was the talk going in the locker room after the second set? What was the vibe in there?
Well, we thought we were getting a rhythm. We really did. We felt like the passing was coming around. So much of passing at this level is connectivity between the passers. And with the last minute injury to Kylie Murr and her inability to play as of pregame this morning, we didn't have any time to really get that put together. So we knew we'd struggle with first contact a little bit. And I thought Megan Jemison came in and did an incredible job for never wearing the jersey, even in practice. I mean, that was the last minute. Hey, we'll just give it a shot, see what happens. So a lot of credit goes to her for absorbing that responsibility. And we felt like we're settling in. We just really felt like we could get going. We felt like if we got the ball to the middles, we could be successful. But our outsides needed to be able to hit us out of trouble when we weren't in system, and they just were not successful. We attacked their middle rather than attacking their outside, which was the game plan. We're trying to go out of after their outside blockers, and unfortunately getting stuck going at their middles. Their middles are awfully good, as everybody in the league knows, and we struggled in that capacity.
Gotcha. What's the talk like after the game? Going back home, what are you guys thinking? What's the talk there?
Well, I think we understand we have a chance to train. We haven't had many training blocks, and our schedule is very front loaded, and our training in the beginning was very limited. So putting our team together has been a challenge just because of the amount of time we've been in the gym. And that's not an excuse in any way, shape, or form. The bottom line is these are our training blocks, and we improved in some areas, although it wasn't evident today, but mostly because of the disruption of our lineup. These guys have done a really good job as middles and have really improved in the last week and a half. We have another training block next week to get better. And hey, we still feel like we can accomplish some great things this year. We still feel like we can be in the chase. And, the message after was, let's get in the gym. Let's accept, hey, that you're going to be challenged to be consistent at a high level. And when you're not, accept that and do your job. And these guys are willing to do that. And, I have a lot of confidence in this team still.
Can you talk about blocking specifically in the third set and how that limited you guys?
Well, I thought they just really honed in and were ahead of us. Berkeley did a good job of expanding, and Lane really, if we could get the ball in, but we were not in system well enough to take them out. And when Omaha has a chance to go load up on your outsides, they're physical, they're big, they're disciplined, they're forehands together, and they're going to take away a ton of space. And I thought what they did differently this time than the first time we were here. I thought they stayed low and were disciplined with their hands over the net. We really thought coming into the match we could chop them a little bit and get their outside hand, and they held today. And that's a good improvement in the Omaha block overall.
For you guys, I'm wondering, the whole, you kind of touched on the topic of the first touch being kind of a problem. Did you guys think that was a big problem, or did you guys think that the back row was putting up balls good enough for you guys to get the points?
I think it's we've been having this problem all season long, but we're definitely getting a lot better at it. It was just today was a little bit different lineup, as we said, so it was just hard to get into the flow with the different girls.
I think it was just a few runs here and there. I agree all that's being said. I just think we had lots of moments where we couldn't pull ourselves out of it and get a decent enough pass where we could go put a ball away. So just highs and lows there and need to be a little more steady.
You guys have a good amount of season left. Now the championship's been announced here in Omaha. Talk about you guys' mentality, where your record's at now, where you need to get to be one of those top 4 teams to make it back to Omaha.
I just think you always have to have an expectation that you're going to be there. Doesn't really matter where you're at, and if you think for a second that you don't have a chance, that's the route you're going to get, you know. So like I expect to be in that championship match every day, every minute, and so that's my expectation. I hope that's my teammates' expectation. It's something we talk about and something that we want to go and do, but it's an attitude and it's expectation.
And it's a really tight race, and all you have to do is get top 4, and then anything can happen.
Coach, I got a moment with you with our coach Bird ahead of the match. You guys know each other? Like, what's your relationship?
Well, I mean, Bird and I have coached against each other for a long time. I was at LSU, she was at A&M, and I have a great deal of respect for her and the way that she's handled this situation here, taken over as the head coach and being thrust into that role. I think she's a great volleyball coach, but I think she's a better person. And, she's somebody that's a confidant for me, and the same, she calls me a lot, and we bounce a lot of things off of each other, just as we did. We were at A&M and LSU. We both want what's best for this sport and certainly what's best for this league. And, we're not going to shortchange our players in doing that, but we're also not going to, kind of write outside the lines and color outside the lines when we do it. And, I know she will do things the right way, and she trusts that I will do things the right way. And I think just the mutual respect that we have for each other and how we handle our players and the commitment we have to this sport. I just have tons of respect, and I consider her an ally for me in my coaching career.
On that front, there's only 7 people coaching professional women's volleyball in the United States. You're one of them. Talk to me about what that means to be a leader of women in professional sports. Well,
it's an honor, first off, and it's a responsibility. I did this because I've committed my life to this sport, right? I started playing I was 16, maybe 15, because we didn't have a lot of volleyball when I was young. I'm that old. But the opportunity to give these guys the opportunity. I am here to serve the sport and serve the people, and we're not all perfect. We certainly don't put ourselves in the best situations sometimes, but this sport is special, and the people and the women that play the sport and the girls that play the sport deserve this opportunity. And it's not a challenge to me; it's an honor and a privilege. And I just want to pave the way. I mean, that's been my goal since I began anything in athletics. Pave the way for the next and make it a little bit easier for the next person. And if that means it's hard for me, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It just means that, hey, if the next person does a little bit better, then I did my job. And I think the future of this league is super bright. I mean, look at this environment here. It's crazy good. And it's like that everywhere. And if we can do that and give these women and the 15, 16, 10, 12, 6-year-olds a chance to be professional women's volleyball players in the United States, then everything that we go through is worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Tonight, Omaha played some players that we haven't seen on our court a lot. That affect you guys' game at all, having not been able to maybe scout some of the way they play or their tendencies or anything?
Honestly, we were more worried about our side, less worried about their side. The issue was, in set 2, we were able to close it to the end, but we missed 5 serves in set 2. I mean, our unforced errors cost us opportunities, and we cleaned those things up. This match, I can't say the outcome's different, but the opportunity is different. And I think if we could have cleaned some of that up, then we may still be playing. We may still be out there fighting for every touch. And, that's unfortunate, but it's something we can get in the gym and control and get better with.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It was about our side. There wasn't anyone that came in that was like looking at each other like, what do we do? It was just, let's go do our job and let's make our side better.
And they're a really deep team, so we can expect everyone to play well.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
swept the thrill tonight 3-0, and joining us to talk about it is head coach Laura Berg-Kuhn, along with middle blockers Tori Dixon and Christina Uchkova. Christina, a couple franchise records again tonight. Christina hit .571, which is the highest hitting percentage in franchise history.
Dang.
And Tori tied the franchise record for most blocks in a match with 5. Coach Boone will start out with an opening statement, and then we will open it up for questions.
I'm proud of this team. I think a lot of people stepped up and filled some roles tonight that it's just good to see them play, and especially at home. We've really made a point to protect this core and change that tone the second half of the season. So I'm proud of the team as a whole, and these two for sure. They've been solid, just grinding in the middle, and it showed tonight.
Coach, what was the idea like behind playing those players that we don't really see play that often? Because we saw a few more girls get on the court tonight. What was the idea behind that?
Paige earned it. Paige earned that in the last match, and so we gave her the nod, and she started out really well. You know, I think the tempo in the game that is run when her and Brooke are out there together, it's awesome, and it's good to see that. It's different, so it's difficult to change your game plan and have something when Betty's in there versus Paige versus when middles are then attacking. So again, our depth makes us pretty tough and challenging to play against as a whole. But it's earned, you know, like when we go to people, and Nia stepped in, but we needed it. We needed to get kills. We needed to dominate on the right. And then getting Sofin was good because these two are obviously awesome, but at some point they might need some rest. We might need some other players in there. And Gabby was awesome in the libero spot too. And she's been solid, but they see it every day. We all see it in practice every day, how this team competes and grinds together. So to all of us, it's normal, but it's awesome to be able to see the team compete and have the same chemistry no matter who's out there.
How did it feel to have such a high kill percentage tonight?
This is not high Q percentage. This is okay percentage for middle blocker, but it's not high Q percentage, I want to tell. Like high Q percentage for me will be 88, 70, 65, something like this, but need to be all the time like this. That's why I'm not like, I'm okay, I'm happy, of course, but it's not my best Q percent. Like this,
You want
like,
to do better.
Yeah.
of course. I had situation that I could do better. Like also like some kind of situation that was hard, like just we needed to manage, but it's no problem. Just we keep forward to work with the setters.
Sorry, those blocks were crazy tonight.
This is little
You-
for her. I joke.
What was how'd you feel? Were you kind of getting up there and put your hands up, or did you like read them? How'd you feel?
Yeah, I think, Cree over here is holding us all to a very high standard. But no, she's such a good job, talking us through the block. And so she's always talking to us about waiting more. Especially they were hitting out a system and hitting on their way down a lot. So we wanted to wait a little bit more on the block, and we all made that change. And I think we ended up getting a lot more blocks in the third set once we started to adapt that, once Cree told us for the 50th time in the match.
Yeah, I'm so
wait
annoying.
more,
I'm
wait
so
more.
sorry. I'm so sorry to all team.
But no, it's good, just to have that feedback. And, we did a good job of making changes and ended up getting a lot more in the third. So
That was quite a momentum shift. Shout out to that. Tori's blocks got us back into that third set.
Yeah, and
it was
Nia
huge.
combination. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yep.
What was the talk in the locker room after the second set? We kind of just like, all right, let's keep going, calm down. What was the vibe in there?
It's back to baseline is something I typically fall back on, but they're professionals. Like they know how good the team is on the other side, and we knew it was going to be a battle. And so it was still just execute, do your job, and we need to finish. So it was pretty similar to what we said.
Was it nice to beat Vegas at home for the first time in franchise history?
Yes, that was because they beat us the last time they were here. So that it always feels good.
Get their revenge.
This was 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was a long
Tori,
time
the
ago.
opposing coach, she talked about how their intent was to target the middle. Did you feel like they were coming after the middle a little bit more during this game, and give you some opportunities to make some big blocks?
yeah, they were pushing it a little bit. I don't know if we actually well, maybe Cree blocked them. I don't think I blocked any of the middles necessarily, but they were definitely pushing it, and they definitely caused some problems. We talked about that too, going into the third, how the middles weren't necessarily getting on the balls and crushing them. It was tips, roll shots. They were doing a really good job of moving the ball around. And so we had to come out and make some changes. And I think we ended up picking up a lot more. But yeah, we could definitely sense that they were trying to force the middles a little bit.
Just observing you guys, it looked like the vibe of the game was so fun tonight, almost like the players who don't see the court all the time, like you guys were happy for them. Can you talk a little bit about what that means to see your teammates that aren't always out there, get some PT tonight?
Yeah, it was really cool. I think like our team is really close. And I think if we could have all 14 players play every single match, we would, because everyone does the work and everyone is Sophie's putting in just as much work as I am and just as much work as Cree is. And it's really showing in practice that improvement. So just having the ability to play different people and have a big enough lead to feel confident to do that. And these players earned it. And I just think that it was really cool to get to see these players play who haven't seen the court, and we were all getting really hyped for them. And the bench was going crazy too every time they scored, and the box. It was just really cool to see them do their thing, because we see it every day in practice, but it's cool that they got to do that in front of the Omaha fan base.
Yeah, Sophie didn't know. I called her name multiple times and she just stared at me, and I'm like, into the match.
But this is really good, because also this is depending of our game. If we continue stay focused and playing good, we can give more chance to this kind of young players to have their chance, to play, to show themselves, because as Tori and Bert, we know them. Gabi is really good player. Sophie, all the players, we practice every day with them. So against everyone, it's hard to manage kind of situation. So it's really nice that we did this kind of situation, so Bert can put them and they can finish the game.
And they've earned it. I mean,
they've
earned it. So we know it's fun. Our practices are arguably, there can't be more fun in the matches because of this atmosphere, but they are competitive. So it's good that we get to showcase everybody.
Or you talked about the bench. I saw at the very beginning of the season, you guys were getting a little excited, but the vibe is just it's gone to all-time high. You guys are having so much fun on the bench. Is that something that you guys you guys got closer together and it just feels like you're all friends, or what's
Yeah, I definitely think as the season goes on, you spend way too much time with each other. So things start getting a little weird, a little unhinged, a little crazy. But no, it's always such good energy back there. And I feel like whenever you throw a new player in, it's ooh, opportunity to make a new cheer. A new player on the bench is let's do this. It's really fun. And it's just hilarious back there, just some of the stuff that happens. But yeah, it also transfers onto the court. When the bench is going crazy and supporting you, it's a really good feeling when you're out there playing too. So we love it, and it's just a lot of fun.
What's your favorite cheer on the bench?
Page Briggs just got a new one. It's where we where we go like this and we run through the tunnel, and I got to do it today for the first time when Soph came in for me, and it was really fun. That's my favorite one.
It's so cool. I was just last game I was clapping. Wow, thank you so much, John. I was thinking this.
Coach, if I'm not mistaken, the first game you were named interim head coach, you guys dropped the game to Vegas. And from talking to the coach in her press conference, it sounds like you guys have a close relationship. You consider each other confidants and colleagues. Can you talk about facing off against her here at home and defending your home court against your colleague tonight?
Yeah, Fran and I have been through a lot, obviously, just being in the SEC together and being in this league for the first season together. It's something that we've joked about, and it's been fun. That first match was my first head coaching, and it was her first match here. But she's awesome, and I respect her. I adore her and the way that she handles everything. So it is what it is. It's competition. So we're both competitive, and yes, I'm glad we defended our home court and all that. But at the end of the day, we're all here for the sport, and that atmosphere and the environment for these athletes, I know that her and I together, that's all we've wanted for this. So yes, it feels good to defend that, but we're going back out to Vegas, and we all know that every match is going to be a challenge. So.
Shout out for all the fans from Omaha. They were incredible this Thursday and this Saturday. Thank you.
Yes. Good grief.
I was just listening to myself.